Today, we're diving into ACME Solar Holdings, a company that just dropped some absolutely staggering financial results. We're going to break down exactly how a solar company pulls off a profit surge of over 600% in just 1 year. So, really? How is that even possible? This isn't just a slight uptick. It's a massive explosion. And as you're about to see, the answer is this really powerful combination of aggressive expansion, brand new technology, and some very smart financial moves. First, let's just look at that headline number. There it is, a 652.1% jump in profit. I mean, to put that in real terms, they went from making about 15 crore rupees to 115 crore in just a year. That number right there is why we're digging into this. But, profits like that don't just happen. They have to come from somewhere, and it all starts with making more power. And here's the first clue. Their actual power generation shot up by 133%, so they more than doubled their output. This isn't just some number on a page. This is the physical result of them building a lot. And it's simple, right? More power sold means more money coming in. But it wasn't just about getting bigger. Their EBITDA, which is basically a key measure of how profitable their core business is, also jumped by over 108%. This tells us they weren't just slapping down more panels. They were actually running the entire operation much, much more efficiently. And all of that led to their total revenue more than doubling. So you have this insane profit growth, and it's backed up by huge increases in both power generation and efficiency. So how did they pull it off? Well, it really boils down to 3 key things. And the first one is pretty straightforward. They just decided to build bigger and faster. ACME's whole strategy kicks off with a really simple but powerful idea. Get bigger. They've been on an absolute tear, just building out more and more capacity, and doing it super quickly. I mean, just look at this growth. In about a year, they went from 1,340 megawatts to over 2,900. To give you a sense of scale, that's enough new energy to power well over 1 million homes. They literally more than doubled the size of their entire power-generating operation. And you can see the pace is just relentless. In only 6 months, they brought almost 400 megawatts of new stuff online. And they're even branching out into wind power now. Their pipeline for what's next is just as impressive, with contracts for another 720 megawatts already in the bag. But look, building all this is risky if you don't know who's going to buy the power. And that's where something called a power purchase agreement is key. A power purchase agreement, or PPA, is really the foundation of this whole business. Just think of it as a guaranteed long-term sales contract for electricity. ACME signs these deals, often for like 25 years, with someone who agrees to buy their power at a price that's already set. So for every new solar project they build, they've already locked in a predictable stream of cash for decades. But building more panels is only half the equation. The second part is all about what happens when the sun stops shining. Okay, this is where ACME is really starting to pull away from the competition. They're not just a solar company anymore. They are transforming into an energy storage giant. So, a battery energy storage system, or BESS, what is it? Honestly, the best way to think of it is just a giant power bank for the entire electrical grid. It's designed to solve the biggest weakness of solar power, intermittency. It soaks up all that extra solar energy during the middle of the day and then sells it back to the grid at night when everyone gets home and turns their lights on. It's a simple idea that makes solar a totally reliable 24/7 power source. And ACME is going all in. They've already put in orders for over 5.1 gigawatt hours of this battery storage. To put that in perspective, that is a huge amount of energy, enough to power hundreds of thousands of homes for hours. This isn't just some small experiment. It is a massive strategic investment. And this technology is a complete game changer. It lets ACME sell something totally new, firm and dispatchable renewable energy. Now, that's just a fancy term, but what it means is they can promise to deliver power whenever the grid needs it, day or night. That lets them compete directly with traditional coal or gas power plants, but with zero emissions. Okay, so they're building bigger and they're building smarter with new tech. The third and final piece of this puzzle is how they're shoring up their finances to support all this crazy growth. A huge signal of their financial health is this new credit rating. They've been given a AA- stable rating from the major agencies. Now, for a company, a better credit rating is just like having a better personal credit score. It means lenders see you as a very safe bet, which lets ACME borrow money for all these new projects at a much, much cheaper interest rate. They're also getting a lot smarter about who they're selling their power to. Look at this, a massive 83% of their contracts are now with central government entities. In business, that is what you call a gold-plated customer. It basically guarantees that ACME is gonna get paid, and get paid on time. And you can see the direct impact of that strategy right here. Their days sales outstanding, which is the average time it takes them to get paid after selling power, has absolutely plummeted. A few years ago, they were waiting 181 days for their money. Today, it's just 27 days. That is a gigantic improvement to their cash flow. So you've got this rapid expansion, you've got pioneering technology, and you've got a rock-solid financial strategy. ACME isn't just focused on last quarter. They are clearly building a roadmap for the entire next decade. Their ambition is crystal clear. They have this visible pipeline of projects that just keeps building on what they already have, and it's all leading to one massive goal for 2030, operating a 10-gigawatt generation fleet. That's enough power for an entire major city. But this is the key to their entire future vision. It's not just about the 10 gigawatts of solar panels, it's about pairing that generation with an incredible 15 gigawatt hours of battery storage. They're not just adding batteries as an afterthought, they are building a fully integrated 24/7 renewable energy machine. This quote from their own investor presentation really sums up their entire philosophy. They see technology not as a cost, but as their biggest competitive advantage. Being that early adopter is what lets them build these next generation projects and get the kind of unbelievable results that we've been talking about. And that leaves us with one final big thought. ACME's three-part strategy, build bigger, integrate batteries, and strengthen the finances, it's delivered these incredible results. So the question becomes, is this just one company's amazing success story, or have we just seen the blueprint for the future of all energy?